merchant's wagon. Yeah, merchant traveling across Velen alone. No way that was gonna end well. Leftovers, cuts of meat, cataplepis. Wonder what spell requires that. A dry red from Zubran, southern slope. Notes of black currant and citrus. Pains the heart. Human, from an artery. Can't be far. Wouldn't have made it. Package still intact. Don't sense anything magic, though. I wonder how Keira will explain this one.
Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you.
Got those, substances you wanted?
Splendid. I can finally begin my study of double arboreal racination patterns. But first, I'll...
Brew yourself a mug of mulled wine? Saw what the wagon was carrying. Exquisite meats, expensive wines, Zerrikanian spices. Not a speck of magic. Care to tell me what you're up to?
I would rather show you, but you must wait a bit.
Color me intrigued. Fine, I'll wait.
Then shoo, outside.
Gonna slip into something more comfortable?
Later. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, go on, out. You've been patient, thank you. It's almost ready.
Huh? If I wanted to see white mice, I'd just get drunk.
Note that I said almost. Now don't interrupt.
Arcane Vin Hateful.
Third mouse. What happened to it?
The spell has a 66.67% chance of success. I always use one more than I need, just in case.
So where did... Keira, can I explain what's going on here?
Know the fairy tale about Cinderella?
Mm-hmm. True story it's based on, too. A Zoogle cropped up in a palace pond and ate Princess Cindrilla whole. Left behind one slipper, so...
I beg you, not another word about Zoogles. Now, to return to the fairy tale. I'd like to escape these ghastly swamps for one magical night. I don't need a fairy godmother, I'll cast the spells myself. But I could use a Prince Charming. It just so happens you're the only decent candidate in all Velen. So, what do you say to a moonlight ride on horseback? And dinner?
Sounds tempting. So tempting, I don't think I can refuse.
Before we go, there's one more thing.
Gotta transform a pumpkin into a carriage?
No. I shall transform our rancid rags into something more glamorous. Don't wince. It'll only be an illusion, won't hurt a bit. And at dawn, everything will return to normal.
Why not? Might as well go all out.
Then hold on tight. Gavella Glan. So, what do you think? Neckline too modest?
It's just right.
Oh, I might also have changed your hair colour while I was at it. I've always fancied dark-haired men. Oh well, any port in a storm. Well, off we go. Dinner's waiting. Last one there does the dishes.
Take it easy.
Is it true? Northern women bathe once every 3 years. That's so good.
Congratulations. You'd make an excellent jockey.
If only I were a foot shorter and 5 stone lighter.
Well, yes. But then I'd not have invited you here. Now do you see why I needed those substances?
Could have just told me what this was about right up.
Geralt, run to the woods and fetch my shopping. I'd like to make dinner. Well, would you have helped?
If I'd known I'd get a glass of Zuberan dry in return, of course.
Well, well, never took you for a wine connoisseur.
Think witchers suck the marrow out of drowner bones and wash it down with puddle water?
More or less. Well, we've chatted long enough on empty stomachs. Let's dig in.
Must have cost you a small fortune. Sure you don't need me to pitch in?
Please, I manage. You know, a dozen eggs here, a cock or gander there. Besides, my finances are about to improve.
All right, I'm curious. We celebrating something?
Yes, a return to the living. But that's not what I wish to discuss. Thank you once again, Geralt, for your help with the tower. You were fabulous.
Not the first curse I've lifted.
But among the most difficult, correct? What happened on that island? Why, I shiver at the thought. And the laboratory. I sincerely hope you burnt everything. The cages, the corpses, the papers.
Didn't destroy that workshop, if that's what you're asking. Didn't see any reason to.
If Alexander's findings were to fall into the wrong hands. Although, Fyke Isle has a terrible reputation. None even dare go there. Perhaps there's nothing to worry about. I'm sorry. Such a gloomy subject to broach. I simply shouldn't have, not during our romantic dinner.
Romantic? Thought we came here as friends.
Friends. With benefits. So?
Your fairy tale, your rules.
Really? Then close your eyes and count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's enough. Keira, wanna play hide and seek? Why not? Good. Won't have to fumble with fasteners. Shame. Could have kept her shoes on.
Found me. Congratulations.
Do I get a prize?
I've nothing on me, but I'll think of something. Know what they call that constellation in Zerrikania?
Dragon something, I bet.
No, it has a different name. Bit indecent, actually. Lean closer and I'll whisper it in your ear. Egfain Nave.
Keira? Where? Put me to sleep with a spell. Means she's up to something. Fyke Isle. The tower.
The old god demanded 6 sucklings. You didn't bring but a single scurvy runt. No wonder he cursed us. We're doomed.
You's the one brought soured wine. Curse is your fault as much as mine.
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the All-God, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. Plus, if you got fitting offerings, he scorned ours, then cursed the old village.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood. Suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All-God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Plain to see that. So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us, you can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me hounds. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All-God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and lotuses or some such will devour the harvest.
I could intercede on your behalf with this All-God of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you've to stand before the altar and cry out, "All God, help a poor wretch in need." Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
Oh, All-God, help a poor wretch in need. Pretty please.
How dare you disturb my divine rest, mortal?
I dare disturb it because I want your divine self to lift the, curse you cast. Those peasants really don't have.
They must bring worthy offerings or they shall face drought, driving hail, earthquakes, avalanches. I have spoken.
Avalanches? Here? Huh. How would that work? No answer from the All-God. Fine. We can finish our conversation when I find him. Voice came from underground. Something here. Where's that artifact Keira gave me?
What? Who dares disturb my divine being?
Geralt of Rivia. Pleasure. Huh. Expected the All-God to be corporeal in form, but never thought he'd be corpulent. Fattened up nicely at those peasants' expense.
Expense? Expense? Not a word about the help I give in return. Blessings, absolutions, enlightened advice. Believe me, these folks need all of it. I'd watch over them still if they fulfilled their end. But lately they offer these pathetic scraps.
That they steal from the mouths of their children, and to make matters worse, you cast a curse on them.
And I'll not lift it till they bring me worthy offerings. I'm to settle for curbs and whey? Not a chance. And you can tell them that.
Been in this hole long?
For a century or so. One winter I found shelter here. Built a fire so large the flames leapt through the crack, lit the bushes above. I coughed from the smoke, and suddenly heard a peasant. A voice out of nowhere, he called. A miracle. Thus, I became a god.
Parasite, more like.
Maybe so. But what of Freya and Melitele then, hmm? Demanding prayers and offerings, giving naught in return? I talk at least.
Listen here, lard-ass. You're gonna be satisfied with what you get, or I'll feed you to the ravens.
Plowing reformers. No, fine, fine. I'll sup more modestly. But just till the end of the war, not one day longer.
Anything new?
Talk to your All-God, face to face.
And? Will he show us mercy?
He will. Promise to be pleased with whatever you bring.
I told you the All-God's merciful, understanding. Thanks, Witcher.
Oh, one last thing. Did you know there's a crypt beneath this hill? Might want to take a look sometime. Architecture's fascinating. A light. Top floor of the tower. So, found what you were looking for?
Yes, thanks for asking. How are you feeling? Sleep well?
What do you want with those papers?
Why, I aim to use them to continue important work that a man's tragic death put on hold. Alexander was studying the Catriona plague. I'll use his notes to produce medication, perhaps a cure, or at least a vaccine.
Strictly humanitarian motivations, is that it?
No, strictly selfish ones. The mighty would pay willingly for such a remedy. Can you imagine how much? Take Radovid, for instance. Why, he might even consider forgetting my past associations with the Lodge.
Radovid doesn't forget, and Radovid doesn't forgive, especially when it comes to sorceresses.
He'll make an exception for me. He'll have to. I have something he wants.
Please, you don't believe that.
Well, you believe Yennefer will stop treating you like a dog someday. Don't see me laughing. I'm going to see Radovid. Tell him of this research, whether you like it or not.
This is suicide, Keira. You'll wind up tied to a stake, burned to bolster the morals of the masses while entertaining them.
Shut up for a moment and look at me. See this? Bedbugs, Geralt. Bloody bedbugs. I, Keira Metz, advisor to Foltest, a member of the Lodge of Sorceresses, have bedbugs. Think what you will, but I'll not stay in this bloody swamp one day more. Not one day. I shall cross the Pontar, and that means Radovid's men will find me sooner or later. Don't you understand? I don't have a choice. I will have to parley.
Got another option. Go to Kaer Morhen.
You believe I'd be safe there?
Long as you don't piss Lambert off, yes. Emir, Radovid, neither will be able to reach you. Find little in the way of luxury there, but we do have clean sheets.
It's a long way, well beyond the dividing line. But if I keep to the woods until I reach the Kestrel Mountains, I should pass through unnoticed. So be it. Seems I find it hard to refuse you, handsome. You've clearly a notion of what women want, how they think.
So, see you at Kaer Morhen? Beds free of bedbugs, mostly.
I long to be there already. See you, Geralt.
Damn cheap guards! You get your coin's worth, even less. Thank you, Witcher. Where would I be without you?
Your guards run off.
Louts didn't get the chance, thank the gods. It's them you cut down, waited until we passed the last settlements, then attacked. And to think I made sure the scoundrels were well armed. We stood no chance against them.
Why'd you come all the way to Velen? Not many to sell to around here.
Well, there's the Baron. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Worth the journey just to sell to him?
We'd never have set course for these gods-forsaken lands if it wasn't. And we've not much competition. That's the upside. Thank you. Please, this was to be theirs at our destination. Now it's yours.
Your kind spreads disease. Defeat isn't that, is there? Got a pass.
Slower.
8 generations and more. The war quarters in Vizima, business, you know.
No pass, no passage.
Please.
Come on.
Don't turn us back to Velen. You don't know what it's like there.
And you don't seem to know what it's like when a soldier disobeys orders. I'm telling you for the last time. No pass, no passage.
passing. You'll choke to death on 3 pounds of steam.
Halt! No passage.
Case of the plague surface in the city or something?
The plague? No. We're to not let folk in the city. It's an order, so I don't, unless someone's got a pass.
What kind of pass are we talking about?
Well, a normal one. A transit pass.
Who issues them?
How should I know? I'm a lowly soldier.
Who ordered the city gates closed?
Word is the king himself. Doesn't want paupers and refugees pissing all over his beautiful city. Apart from which, when folk can go hither and thither, always a chance some spy will slink through. This way, spies got it harder. So, no pass, no passage.
This way, you mean?
Let me look at that. Missing a seal, the red one.
Impossible.
Department of Civil Defence forgot again. They're really off their heads these days. Happens, so be it. You may come through.
Come through.
Our townhouse in Vizima's trade quarter. It has a red roof. Do you know if it still stands?
Huh? What the fuck?
What the devil?
Ah, a customer.
What would you say to a little game of Gwent?
Got anything for an aching belly? Stabbing pain here, under my belt since yesterday.
A proposed Hypericum perforatum, known also as goatmeat. They help with cramps, cleaning the bilious tract.
Taking a peek at my wares for a storekeeper.
I'm looking for Tamara, the Bloody Baron's daughter. Your brother said I'd find her here.
Wojtek send you, sir.
How else would I know she was here?
Wait a moment. I'll fetch her straight away.
You're looking for me, and who might you be? My father sent you?
Yeah, to see if you're still alive. And well. I'm Geralt of Rivia.
I'm quite alive and extraordinarily well, Geralt of Rivia. Better than I've ever been in this rotten life of mine, and now that you've seen me, I bid you farewell.
Wait.
We've nothing more to talk about.
Your father's a vile man. You're angry and bitter. Can't blame you.
Why do you help him then? Why did you take this job?
Because he knows something about someone dear to me. Promised to tell me if I found you and your mother.
Got it. A bit of blackmail. Just his style. Well, now you've found me, you can tell him I'm alive and I'm never coming back.
Before I agreed to look for you, your father told me his version of events. Tell me yours.
Mine? It's dull as life amidst the swamps. My earliest memories are of a drunken father lying under the stairs, caked in mud and clutching a bottle. Next dozen years, pretty much the same. Father would drink, disappear for days, then come home in a rage and send furniture flying. Thank the gods for war. I was glad every time they sent him off. And the quarrels. I remember him screaming at Mum, the thuds as he beat her, then her sobbing. I'd hide under my bed and long for silence. That's the long and short of it. Multiply by 19 and there you have my life. Finally we'd had enough, Mum and me. He crossed the line and we fled.
I don't mean to pry, but I know your mother had a miscarriage.
His doing? He shoved her, she fell, that's how it started. We were alone, no one to help, blood everywhere. Worst night of my life.
Sorry. Must have been hard for you both.
Mum was in shock. She was raving that it was better this way, that she never wanted the child. Must have had a fever, she was losing blood the whole time.
She didn't want the child?
Said she'd sooner cut open her gut than bear another child from his seed.
Wojtek claims your mother had strange marks on her hands, and that a monster dragged her into the woods. That true?
We were riding towards the river. Suddenly, Mum cried out, bent over, almost fell off her horse. I rode up to her and saw something strange. Her hands were on fire. And then that creature leapt from the woods. I don't know what it was, but it roared so fierce my nose bled. I saw it topple trees. I've never been so scared in my life. And that thing grabbed my mum and disappeared into the woods. I wanted to turn back, go after them, but the horses panicked. Now I don't even know if she's alive.
What will you do now?
Find my mum.
You realize that might not be that easy.
Don't worry, I'm not daft enough to believe I can do it alone. I've got some new friends now. Powerful friends. They'll help me.
Who are these friends, if it's not a secret?
No secret. Heard of the Church of the Eternal Fire? A priest helped me contact the Redanian witch hunters. Righteous, brave men. They'll help me.
Hence the candlesticks in your room. So you believe in the eternal fire?
Once the heat of the fire has set your heart aflame, it gives you strength and leads you down the path of truth for the rest of your life. I hope it'll bless you with its warmth one day.
Thanks. Thing is, fire's tricky. It's easy to get burned. What about your father?
Who? Oh, him. I don't care. I won't go back to him. That bit of my life? Forgotten it already.
Well, well. A witcher. Never thought the Baron would stoop to hiring a monster slayer. Though I hear you're good at tracking things down.
Glad you know who I am. Haven't introduced yourself, though.
Graden, witch hunter in the service of His Royal Majesty Radovid of Redania. I'm certain you've heard of us.
Rings a bell.
If the Bloody Baron sent you to fetch his daughter, you'd best face it. You will fail in your task.
I appreciate your concern, but I don't need it. As for Tamara, she can make her own decisions.
Noble of you. A killer for hire abandoning his bounty for the good of another. The hunters and the Church of the Eternal Fire thank you. So the Baron hired a witcher to find his daughter. Interesting.
Desperate fathers have been known to do a lot to find their daughters.
Unexpected from a witcher. I thought your mutations cleansed you of humanity. Stripped you of emotions.
You don't need mutations to strip men of their humanity. I've seen plenty of examples. Where are you gonna take her?
Tamara must rest. She's had a harrowing experience. When the warmth of the Eternal Fire has restored her strength, we shall see about finding her mother.
Before you go, your father asked me to give you this.
Clara? Father told you to give me Clara. Funny how he thought to buy me back with a memory. Tell him one gesture could never make up for a ruined childhood. So long, Witcher. In spite of all, I'm grateful you gave me a choice. Didn't force me to go back to the tyrant.
Hope you know what you're getting yourself into. So long, and good luck.
wasted it.
Everyone to me! To me!
What can I do with you for? If I ain't got it today, say the word and I'll have it tomorrow.
Wanted to play cards. Doubt we need to wait till tomorrow.
scum must die, die, die. Who can end here with these fancy cavalry from Ninna Valley? Unseen air, sword to sky, no such scum must die, die, die. You mans! Here, Redania Camp Army! No cross, no boat steal!
Redanian army? Where are you hiding them?
In here! Me! No see mans? Join me, King Ravodid Army! Order got guard boatses.
Boats are in pretty bad shape.
Me guard boats, let's say. But no wood for to make a fence. They're boats, aye. So me fence make a boats. Boats guard boats.
Why'd you join the army? Someone recruit you?
Crude? No crude. Come good soldier mans. Say chargy man wants boats. Peasanters, they steals peasanters' boats. That's not trolololo. Dunno.
Think I do. Redanians seized some peasants' boats. Thought the peasants might try to take them back. What happened next?
Chargy man go. Soldier mans drink and sing. Lot sing. Listen, troll. Both. Come, peasanters, swing sharpie sticks. I help one army. Runner to runner. Holla, peasanters. Holla, soldier mans. Gentle. Move them apart. But all lie down. Soldier mans do. But order had me watch boats. And watch I. Trollololo soldier man now. Trollolo just sing too. You for sing you?
No thanks. Heard you earlier. But listen, where are the bodies? Don't see any.
Hungry go. Should no waste. Peasanters good food. Soldier man friends. Not so good big stew. Always good.
Guess I understand. Wartime rules?
Man's soldier man too?
No.
Trollololo. Makes man soldier man. Trollo. Chargy man. Say, bring paint. And man brings paint.
Paint? What are we talking about?
Paint! Paint! Red colory, white colory, city gods, no city go. Trollolo, what's boats?
Fine. I'll try to find some paint for you.
Good mans! Redani army, no service forget. And seed and birds and it takes gravity to go. No point now sending army the Zulu is the control. The fire in the army, the Zulu is the control.
Greetings, Master. What can I do for you?
Got a razor and shears? Good. Make me look decent. So long.
Ah.
The fair Geralt of Riviera, I presume.
Hello, fella. Well met.
Have we not met before?
We don't serve lushes, shavers, caretakers, or students from Philosopher's Hall.
Do I look like any of the people from that list?
Doesn't hurt to check, just so it's clear how things stand.
So what did they do to you, the students from...
Rather not talk on it, all right? What's your poison?
You play Gwent?
Not with just anybody, and always for high stakes. With you, I might.
I'll play on your terms.
don't like losing, but that don't mean I don't do it with grace. The card and the prize are yours.
You've been playing a while? Gotta know where I can find some interesting cards?
In Novigrad, there's Oliver the innkeeper. He plays, though he's far beneath my level. Closer, in Velen, there's the barkeep at the inn at the crossroads.
Taking a peek at my wares, yeah? Oh, down. Everyone to me! To me! What can I do with you for? If I ain't got it today, say the word and I'll have it tomorrow.
Let me see. Might pick something. So long.
Greetings. My, a witcher. Something tells me I'll finally get something interesting to do.
Sure doesn't look like you're short on work.
So, this. A Redanian army order. But there's no pleasure in't. One after the other, same thing time and again. No finesse required.
Looking to perfect your craft?
Of course. Crafting's like ploughing a maid. Fall into a rut and... Well, sure, you'll get the job done, but there'll be no hoops, no hollers, no standing ovation. So, got any special requests for me? Help me stay on form?
Still talking about armor, aren't we?
Aye, what else would it be?
Let's play cards. Gwent wouldn't be bad.
Private Slick, report on order.
Just so happens I have some paint on me.
Oh! 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 Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Has paint, but how? Dunno.
Might be a problem.
Man's how no. I order. Man's knows.
I guess I do. Depends what.
Birdo Connery. Redania Birdo. Shields like.
Know what? You're the Redanian soldier. You should paint it.
Yeah. Try I. Man's no go. Man's watch. Good no, Birdo ugly.
No, actually it's not bad. Not bad at all.
Man's kind, but Birdo ugly. Tra-la-la-la-see. Tra-la-la-la-see ugly. Man's good. No like other man's take cues. What a pretty, pretty pussy when man goes dead of pussy.
Come on. Harpies got their nest here.